Welcome back to American Warrior Radio right here on AM 1300 WMEL, brought to you by AVET Project. We have Vern Harper holding over with us over the break just because I wanted to discuss a couple things. As you probably are all aware, Vern, you're a Vietnam vet yourself.
Correct.
And the Brevard County Manatees, our local baseball team here, which I believe is a farm team of the Milwaukee Brewers. Kyle Smith, the general manager, very nice young man. He's running things. He wanted to put out a special opportunity for the folks in this neighborhood to salute our military. So we've got a military salute going on through the Brevard County Manatees, and you were able to participate in that.
I certainly was, and it's probably, it's been 30 plus years since I was in Vietnam and got out. It was the most recognition I've ever received in a positive way for what I did in Vietnam. I, over the years, received a lot of negative recognition, especially when we first got out of the country. We were called baby killers, and we just were. We couldn't do anything right. And
spat upon when you're leaving the airports.
Yep. And
very disgraceful behavior on the part of Americans.
I'm very pleased to see the veterans of today being treated totally different than what we were. And a lot of their treatment today is because of folks like you and Kim. They're doing such a great job for the vets of today.
Well, and I want to
thank you.
Yeah, well, of course, you're welcome. That's part of our mission, is to increase awareness and bring the public's consciousness as to the sacrifices made by the war fighters and their families. This particular honor was bestowed upon you by the Brevard County Manatees out at Space Coast Stadium. Folks, if you're listening in Vermont or Texas, just bear with us, but you can check it all out. Just go to avetproject.org, click on the Facebook icon. You'll see lots of photos and things like that. It is a free opportunity, because that's Glenn and I's favorite word here at AWR, American Warrior Radio. Anything that we can bring to you that's free, and this is an incredible opportunity to get recognized, whether you're on active duty or a veteran of the military. All you have to do, well, let's describe the program. You get 8 seats in the dugout, right by the baseball players.
Yep.
You get 8 hot dogs, 8 beverages. You get on-field recognition and a beautiful plaque. So all that happened, and you really enjoyed yourself?
It really was incredible, and we had a ball. And as a result of the great treatment that I received, we're going to be going back to the Manatees at the Space Coast Stadium to see other games. We had so much fun at the stadium.
And a big shout out to Kyle Smith, the GM there, because he came to us. He'd wanted to do this in years past, didn't get the cooperation. Well, y'all know AVET Project. We're going to jump in head first to make something like this happen, especially when it's free recognition for our warriors.
Yep.
And the nice thing is, anybody that has honorable paper, whether you're on active duty or you've served previously and you're a veteran, all you have to do is select a home game. There's lots remaining. Okay, we're through 1 month and into the second of the season, but there's still plenty of opportunity. Just go to avetproject.org, click on the Facebook, view the home schedule for the Manatees, select a game, and then you're going to email. So you got to have some computer access here. Email kim@avetproject.org. AVET, again, just an acronym for American Veterans Empowerment Team. You've seen us here, there, and everywhere. kim@avetproject.org. After you've selected a couple dates that might work for you, we'll get you plugged in. And like Vern said, it really is a special evening or day, depending on when the game's played.
At the second inning, when I received the plaque, they took me from where I was sitting and brought me over to the Manatees dugout, and I got up on top of the dugout and was recognized there on top of the dugout, and was handed the plaque at that time. And everyone around me was just great. I can't tell you how many people came up to me and personally thanked me for what we did in Vietnam.
Helped him with his claim.
Well, and that's important, folks, because it gives the community an opportunity to say thanks, whether it's an active duty person that's being honored that day or evening, or a veteran, an old Vietnam vet like yourself, Vern. So, want to encourage you all to do that. It's free. Glenn and I are always bringing you this kind of stuff. And we just, as you know, and you'll see this up on YouTube, the presentation that AVET Project made to the wonderful folks here at WMEL Studios, AM 1300. Because, like I mentioned, you guys actually supported the breakfast we served for the warriors of the 715th MP Company. Now, these are guys and gals that just returned from combat mission in combat deployment in Afghanistan not long ago, and they're headed back in just a matter of months now. They're going to be going back to in theater. So anything and everything we can do as a community to help them out. And Vern, you particularly, I'm shaking your hand right now, because we really appreciate the support. And the Warriors loved it. As you know, you can see a picture of them holding up the WMEL banner. And thank you so much for that support as well.
Well, you're most welcome, but I can't begin to thank you and Kim and AVET enough for the support you've given me over the last couple of years with some of the conditions that I've come down with due to my in-country experience in Vietnam. I was exposed to Agent Orange over there. Agent Orange, and if some of you don't know what that is, that's a defoliant that we used to use over in Vietnam to kill as much of the vegetation as we could. So
and later find out it not only kills the vegetation, it kills our vets.
Exactly. So consequently, I came down, they found that this Agent Orange causes diabetes, and I did come down with diabetes and also prostate cancer, and I've got that as well. However, I'm being treated very well, very successfully for both of those conditions, and I owe everything to both you and Kim for helping me in that area.
And folks, you all know AVET Project is an all-volunteer organization. One day when we have the resources, we have a wonderful executive director who's also the producer for American Warrior Radio, happens to be my wife, Kim Cohn. Maybe one day we'll be able to pay a salary or some stipend to her, but as it is right now, we're an all-volunteer group. Pardon me. We have about 320 registered volunteers here in Florida. We operate charity registrations. We're 501c3. Charity registrations here, Oregon, California, and Texas. We're most active here and in Oregon. But if you want to get involved, it's really easy to do. You can volunteer for any of the number of activities that we're always involved in. And I'll go over some of the current events here in a moment. But you can also donate, and we truly do need and appreciate anybody going online, clicking the donate button. It's a secure PayPal site. Whether it's $1, $5, $50, or $500, the money goes directly to support our core programs and services of assistance to past and present military members. That kind of covers the whole spectrum, because we don't deny any service or anything to anybody. As long as we can help out, we will. And I think with what you mentioned, Vern, it's kind of an important item and something I want to speak to briefly about obtaining service connection and what that means. But you had another comment.
Yes, I encourage all veterans out there, if you have any questions whatsoever, give AVET a call, and you'll receive an answer very promptly and courteously and efficiently, and an answer that is going to help you along the way to obtain the necessary things that you may need for whatever the situation
The benefits
might be.
you've earned.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say that anyone out there who is interested in participating with this program, in helping sponsor this program on the air, please
give Vern a call.
Give me a call here at the station at 631-1300. 631-1300.
So whether they're a business person, man or woman, local business, maybe they're a national business, or even a private citizen, they can get involved by helping sponsor American Warrior Radio here on WMEL.
And again, that number is area code 321-631-1300. 321-631-1300. And big or small, it doesn't matter. Anything would be appreciated by the AVET team here.
And the website is real simple, folks. For all you guys and gals over in Afghanistan or Turkey or the DMZ and Korea, if you're listening to American Warrior Radio, thank you. Thank you for your service, your undying love for our country. And you can check it out on 1300, that's www.1300WMEL.com. If you're interested in sponsoring American Warrior Radio or any of the fine programs here on WMEL, click on the contact button and Vern or one of his other folks here, one of the other staff, will be in touch with you and get that lined up. But I wanted to speak to what I mentioned, which is service connection and how that comes about. For all you guys and gals out there that had something happen to you in service, whether it was a broken bone, a surgery, or being diagnosed with a systemic or chronic disability like maybe hypertension or some other such, and you mentioned the presumptives, Vern. In other words, if something happened because of your service, all you Vietnam vets, if you had boots on the ground or were in and on the waterways, the brown water vets they're calling it, and there's legislation to cover the blue water vets, and you were exposed to this Agent Orange and you develop one of these 15, there's a list of 15 now, nasty disorders. Glenn and I have talked about it ad nauseum, and we'll keep bringing it up.
Garen, all any of the vets had to do was take one step on the ground in Vietnam, and you are now able to participate in some of these benefits that will come your way because of being in country in Vietnam.
That's right, Vern. The idea there is if you had boots on the ground and you come down with one of these disorders, and diabetes mellitus happens to be one of them, there's a list of 15. You can find it at avetproject.org or contact your local county veteran service office.
And by the way, all vets out there, until Garen told me about this program that is available to all of us vets, I was not aware of it at all. I was totally ignorant on that part. I was just fat, dumb, and happy, just going along from day to day, thinking that this was just an ailment that was going to come upon me because of my age or whatever it might be. It wasn't until Kim and Garen made me aware of it did I really start to get the personalized treatment that I need and the assistance that I need every day, both medically and financially. I get some good financial benefits from this as well, guys and gals. So,
and it's important to mention that because if you're in a civilian workplace, if you're having a regular job 9 to 5 and something happens to you and you become injured or chronically injured, you're going to be qualifying for some workers' compensation benefits. However, if you're in the military on active duty and something happens to you, you don't have any workers' comp agreement. So what happens when you are injured and it's something that's going to last for a long, long time throughout your life? That's what I want to speak to here briefly, and that's service connection. You've heard the term probably. What is it? Very simply put, to have a well-grounded claim, a claim that the VA will view and hopefully favorably decide, you had to have something occur while you're on active duty or even a pre-existing condition that was noted on your entry physical that worsens or is aggravated by your active service. So you had something that happened while you were on active duty. That same issue or problem is bothering you today, and there's a logical connection or nexus between the two, then you're going to be eligible to apply for what's called service-connected disability compensation through the VA. This is important because, like Vern mentioned, this is real money, folks. Even if you get 0%, in other words, quick example, you're not even in combat. This doesn't have to be combat related, all right? You're on active duty and you're painting your house. You're on a ladder. You're not drinking or anything like that, but you're on your ladder and you slip and fall and you break your leg bone. Well, that leg will heal. Hopefully, the bone will heal, but you'll have x-ray evidence for the remainder of your life that you had a broken leg. It occurred coincident to your active service. In other words, even though it may heal and you may be fine, it will warrant a 0% service-connected disability award. 0% doesn't sound like much, right? Well, it does open the door to a lot of different benefits, including automatic entry into the VA healthcare system, which Vern has said is treating him well, and they do a fine job overall. Yeah, there are little pockets of areas that need improvement, but
I'm impressed by the people out there at the VA here in Vieira.
and there are really good people throughout the VA, regardless of all the horror stories you hear. I don't want to tell anybody that you're not going to get good care. You're going to get good care. You're going to be seen. But getting back to the issue here, service connection. That means something happened to you and it's still bothering you today. Very simply, and Glenn has stressed this, if you are near a county veteran service office, if you're here on the Space Coast, it's easy to find. It's out there at the Vieira Government Complex, Bravo building. Just look for the big B. You walk through the door, you'll find Glenn's office. Again, he is credentialed. They've been training. That's what they're doing this week. They're getting recertified, learning about changes in the law. They're having lots of presenters there to update them on other things that are occurring. And so you've got some trained staff to help you with your initial or original VA claim. You're going to hear the VA more and more pushing vets to try and file their claims electronically through the computer. This is probably not the best idea. If you have a single issue or a simple issue, like that broken leg scenario, in other words, you have x-ray evidence showing it happened. And getting back to that, let's say you were on the ladder and you'd been drinking and you're drunk and you slip and fall. The military, the Department of Defense, is going to do what they call a line of duty determination. If they find that you had something to do with that, that they can term willful misconduct, in other words, you shouldn't have been drinking and painting at the same time, you're going to have a hard uphill climb. But if you're up there painting your gutters and everything's fine and you fall and break your leg, that's a service connectable disorder, even at 0%. For all you guys and gals that are in theater right now across the world or here in the United States, something happens to you, even if you're in your car and a vehicle runs or T-bones you and you have injuries coincident to that, you are going to be eligible for service-connected disability compensation. And I just want to throw out a couple numbers because Vern mentioned that it is a real benefit. It has real meaning and real dollars. Okay, the current rate, if a person is found minimally disabled, but the VA determines that their disability, whether it's that scenario that you were diagnosed with hypertension and are on medication, or maybe diabetes, whatever the situation is, if it's related to service, and you get a 10% disability rating, that's $123 a month tax-free for the rest of your life. They may do a re-examination somewhere down the road to see if you've gotten better, or maybe worse, and certainly if you have a knee problem, and it worsens as we age, which it always does. We don't really heal. We may heal, but you know, arthritis is one of those things we just can't avoid. You can always ask the VA to reconsider your claim, your disability, and potentially even get an increased evaluation. So I want to encourage everybody that had, and I mean everybody, right now, and this is not anything scientific, but I'm going to guess with my career in this business, I would guess that there are probably, you hear claims backlog numbers of like 1 million claims on backlog throughout the VA. Well, I posit that if every veteran who was otherwise eligible to file a claim for VA disability compensation did so, they would probably have 2 million or even more claims on backlog. But so many vets are hesitant, they may come up with other reasons like, hey, that guy over there deserves it more than me. Nonsense, folks, nonsense. If you yourself or you know of a veteran that had an injury or diagnosis while they're on active duty and it's still bothering them today and they're not drawing any compensation or they're not enrolled in VA healthcare, now is the time. We've got to get the attention to this issue. You had something to say there, Vern?
Yes, for all of the vets out there, take advantage of these things that are available to you. Garen and Kim have helped me out tremendously. I don't know what I would have done.
And Brother John.
And my brother John as well. I don't know what we would have done without the treatment and care that we're getting with the VA right now, but it was all initiated because of Kim and Garen Cohn. So, and one more thing, guys and gals, then I'll shut up. we here in this area, and those of you who are listening anywhere in the world for that matter, we have a kind of a secret weapon to us, and that is AVET, headed up by Garen Cohn here. AVET is an organization that will help us in any and all of our needs that we have. And I don't think you'll find any other organization in the country that will do what AVET is doing.
And it's all volunteers, folks. It's all volunteers.
So everyone out there, utilize the secret weapon that we have. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we encourage you to make a donation. I mean, Vern's speaking from the heart, and I know he means it. And we've helped so many warriors. Anybody that attends one of our events, and we piggyback on other outfits that are holding events, and we'll be out there spreading the word. You're going to see our displays, and it'll show pictures of the warriors we've helped. We have the reintegration retreat for returning combat vets. We have a care package program. We call them EEBs. Empowerment Equipment Boxes. They're enhanced care packages. We just did a pack out at Northrop Grumman. Hats off to you and Greg Harlan, Major Harlan, and Jacqueline out there. Wonderful people. We have 275 EEBs awaiting shipment. The post office just raised the rate from $12.95 per EEB to $13.45. We've got to get these care packages sent over. Our guys and gals in theater Afghanistan right now deserve it. They look forward to it like it's Christmas morning. Help us out. Jump on avetproject.org. You don't hear me beat this drum often, but we need to get this stuff shipped, and we need to do it now, and we appreciate your help. Jump on avetproject.org. Click the secure PayPal donate button, and whether it's you want to cover one care package or a bunch of them, we'll take whatever help we can get, and we appreciate it. I want to go over a couple other current events. As I mentioned, Donnie Hare is supporting AVET Project with the Day of the Warrior live cage fights. He's going to be out at Runaway Country in Wickham Park later today handing out the little postcards. Get him. He'll have a Sharpie with him. Get him to autograph it. You'll want to treasure that. We'll be out there continuing through Sunday at Runaway Country in Wickham Park. So come stop by the booth and say hello. And we've got the Can You See Me Now ride. This is the motorcycle safety awareness ride through AVET Project. It's during Armed Forces Week. It's on May 20th. Now let's say you don't ride a motorcycle. Fine. Jump in your car. Or if you want to make a donation to support that, again, go to the donate button on AVET Project. Can You See Me Now is all about getting as many motorcycle riders out on the roadways as possible. We're starting at various American Legion posts here in Brevard County, heading up to Destination Daytona. And I mentioned we're also the Superboat races coming up the 17th through the 20th. Want to encourage you to stop by the AVET Project booth there. The MAC, Military Affairs Council, I'm on the board there, has a white elephant auction on May 18th at the Comfort Inn in Cocoa Beach. We're going to hopefully see everybody out at the Memorial Day Parade May 28th, hosted by American Legion Post 81. Frank Hosley, you're doing an awesome job. Keep up the good work. I want to get a quick shout out to support your Veterans Memorial Center here on Sykes Creek Parkway in Merritt Island, southeast corner of Merritt Square Mall. They still have lots and lots of pavers for sale at the Memorial Plaza, so help those folks out because it's a wonderful monument and it's just a great place, and they've got a wonderful mission. We're running out of time here on this week's episode of American Warrior Radio. I just want everybody to keep us in your thoughts and prayers, as are the warriors. We got to keep these guys front and center, and their families. So folks, as Glenn always says, don't forget.
Thank a vet.